I just want to say thank you for participating in this interview.
It's a requirement for a psychology course that I'm taking
At Valley College.
and the purpose of this interview is for me to gain insights into my strengths and weaknesses so that I can become more self-aware. With that being said, it's important that your responses are honest.
So please be sensitive and compassionate in your delivery of unflattering feedback, but don't avoid it.
I'm interested in learning how I can come across to other people, so please provide as much detail as you can in your responses. I've been instructed to remain open-minded and objective, so that is what I intend to do as I listen to your feedback. Again, thank you so much for your time.
And thank you so much for your time.
Again, thank you for your time. Oh, this is my mom, Leticia.
Hi.
And I'm going to be asking her some of the questions about my strengths and weaknesses. What do you consider to be my 3 greatest strengths, and why do you think this?
3 of your greatest strengths are loyalty. When it comes to like relationships, your circle is small. Everybody that's in your circle, you're very loyal to. You're committed, set your mind to something. You follow through, whether it be schoolwork, job. You stay on task and you see it through. You're kind. I feel like you're thoughtful of others and you always put forth like your best effort when it comes to thinking of somebody. And
what do you consider to be my 3 biggest weaknesses, and why?
You're not mindful, like your response can come across rude. Sometimes at like your time management, it's not always on point. But when it comes to leisure things like or joining us for lunch or dinner or whatever, you just tend to go on your time. It's a little messy is what I'll say. Messy in your room and perhaps you're leaving dishes out and so on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think there are any characteristics, behaviors, or personality traits that I don't see in myself but that you see? And if yes, what are they?
Being analytical.
How so?
You overthink things, and sometimes too you very strongly opinionated about your answer.
I don't realize I do that sometimes.
Yeah.
So this is my boyfriend, Ferris. I'm going to ask him a few questions about my strengths and weaknesses. The first question I would like to ask you is, what do you consider to be my 3 greatest strengths, and why do you think this?
Your first strength is you are very positive. You always maintain a positive attitude. I feel like when things are not going your way, you still try to think positively and help me think more positively. And 2, you're very empathetic. I feel like you're always emotionally available for me and you always make time for your loved ones. And for the number 3, you take really good care of yourself. You keep yourself healthy, have a good routine.
Thank you for your responses. What do you consider to be my 3 biggest weaknesses, and why?
Don't take rejection too well. If somebody, or if I tell you no, usually you don't take that very lightly. Sometimes you're stubborn too. I feel like you want your way. If you don't get your way, you're kind of upset. You procrastinate a little bit. Be on your homework sometimes, certain things you need to do.
Thank you for your feedback. Do you think that there are any characteristics, behaviors, or personality traits that I don't see in myself but that you see? If yes, what are they?
You're very smart and you can accomplish anything if you really put your mind to it. You have ambition for the things you enjoy and all your passions.
So what do you consider to be my 3 greatest strengths, and why do you think this is?
One of your greatest strengths is like understanding, and I think you're very like empathetic. You know, it's kind of hard to find people like that in the world because a lot of people kind of think about themselves or are very self-oriented. That you're very task-oriented. You get it done the right way. You're not, trying to do anything that you're not supposed to. And I think you're very calm and collected, or you present yourself as very calm and collected. It's very good as a worker and as a person. If you need to de-escalate a situation, you can.
So what do you consider to be my 3 biggest weaknesses, and
I
why?
think one of your biggest weaknesses at first was like you were hard to open up. I think it was hard for you to open up because you're just not comfortable talking to people. But first impressions, matter, I guess. So when I first met you, I kind of thought, oh, like she doesn't like me or whatnot. But I think your second weakness is, I think since you come off as so calm and collected, maybe you can come off as like blunt or like you're disinterested in like the customer. I think your last weakness is just you're just like awkward when I first met you. It kind of goes back to you being hard to open up and whatnot.
I did agree with most of the strengths that the people I interviewed mentioned. Mostly agreed with was commitment. Do you believe I'm committed in the things I start? I like to finish them. Do you believe that I'm empathetic? And I like when people tell me that I'm a good listener and that they can come to me whenever they want to talk. Some weaknesses I agree with is my procrastination. I do tend to procrastinate if I feel daunted by a task, unexpected for me to hear. I'm ambitious. Take that into consideration moving forward. If I set goals for myself that I'm capable of accomplishing them.